Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video we are going to be going through the 5 best moments of She-Hulk episode 1. Let's go. So like I said in this video, today we're going to be going through my 5 favorite moments from episode 1 of She-Hulk. Before I get started with this video is going to contain spoilers. Throughout the video I'm going to be talking about my favorite parts from the episode in depth, whilst also displaying pictures from the actual episode. So if you don't want it to get spoiled for you, go watch that episode, then come back and watch this lovely video. So let's crack on. So my first moment of this episode that I did enjoy was early in the episode. So basically what happens is the episode starts off with Jennifer talking to the camera, almost like I originally thought it was basically during the coronavirus period and she was on trial doing a closing argument, but it was doing it through Zoom calls. I was wrong. She was basically talking to her colleagues, practicing what she was going to say in her closing argument. And then like they leave the room and it looks like they're about to go to court, but then she kind of turns back into the room, and like the viewer, it's like the viewer is in the room, and that's when she breaks the fourth wall and says, yeah, I'm a Hulk and this is how I became a Hulk. Then it goes to some flashback. So in that flashback, what happens is her and Bruce driving in the car. He's got like his arm in a sling and stuff, and he's been like explaining to her what he's been doing recently and stuff. And then she's like asking how he's able to be Bruce now and stay Bruce. And basically he explains he's created some prototype device on his arm that enables him to stay as Bruce. And swiftly after, he mentions that she wants to change the conversation to Captain America, Steve Rogers, and his virginity. And she literally just goes through his whole life story to explain that there's no way that he wasn't a virgin. But in the middle of the conversation of them talking about it, one of Grandmaster's ships from Thor Ragnarok, you may remember, appears right in front of the car and shoots at the car. And then the car just starts tumbling over, goes all over the place. So then my next favorite moment is literally straight after that scene. And basically what happens is the car is tumbling over. Bruce is still in the car, but Jen's out of the car now. She goes back to the car to get him out. She gets him out and he like falls on top of her, and his blood literally from his face drips into her wrist, because on her wrist she's got this big gaping cut that's like open. So when Bruce's blood drops from his face, it goes directly into her bloodstream, and she literally just hulks out straight away as soon as he touches her. I did think personally that was a bit fast, because I don't know if you remember, it took Blonsky a while in Incredible Hulk, after getting Hulk's blood directly into him, for him to turn, you know. So I think it was a bit instantaneous, but doesn't matter. So then she hulks out, and literally as she hulks out, she runs off into the woods. Literally what Bruce has normally done through all the times he's appeared. And then they just show her running through the woods, and then next thing you know, she's just waking up in the woods and she's back to being Jennifer again. Now she starts walking through the woods and she finds a bar that she goes into. And she goes into the toilet trying to clean herself up. Then a bunch of people come into that toilet, start saying, whoever done this to you, they don't love you, etc., etc. You know, all the lady stuff that you normally hear girls talk to other girls, and she's gone through, you know, some sort of mishap with her partner. She gets outside after they put a load of makeup on her and giving her some clothes. And while waiting for Bruce to show up, a few guys, I'm assuming, mistake her for a hooker, and they're trying to chat her up and trying to, you know, harass her. And in doing so, she hulks out again, and which is the first time we really get to see She-Hulk's face. And as she hulks out and is about to go and attack them, the Incredible Hulk, Bruce, he shows up, American football tackles her, and then the screen fades to black. In my next favorite part of this episode is, so basically, Jennifer is after the last scene, and Jennifer wakes up and she's in a remote island. And the island, the best way to describe the island is very similar to, do you remember Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Coulson, the whole Tahiti thing? It basically looks like that. It looks like Tahiti. And basically she's looking around this little bamboo kind of house thing in this remote island, and she finds a basement, goes down there, and basically Bruce is Smart Hulk again, Professor Hulk again, and she was like, oh yeah, so you're a Hulk again. And he's like, oh, I'm Smart Hulk now. And she's like, cool name. And then basically he goes on to explain to her what exactly has happened to her. And then in explaining her, he basically tells her that her blood is kind of unique, and he was able to use her blood to heal his arm that got injured in Endgame. So he's like all healed up again now. So basically after he's completely explained it to her and everything, what happens is he starts running tests. He starts running tests on her, and then they start training her abilities. He explains that it's a multi-year journey she's about to go on now to learn to control herself as the Hulk. So then basically what happens is she hulks out in one of the tests, and then she starts talking, and he's like, Jen? And basically what's happened is he assumed that she was going to have a Hulk alter ego that's a rage monster and stuff, and it turns out she doesn't have any of that. In fact, all that happens when she hulks out, she's still Jennifer Walters, and it still has full control over her body. So there's no like a rage monster there that's gonna kind of make her do things she doesn't want to do. Which in turn, you can tell Bruce is a bit pissed off by this. He's like, well, why did she get it and I didn't? But yeah, that's number 3. Number 4. So after all the training, Jennifer clearly thinks that she knows everything there is to know, and she's all good, and there's nothing Bruce can do to help her. So what she decides is that she wants to go back to LA and continue to be a lawyer. Bruce is obviously against this, and he's just like, no, you can't. Once people see you as your monster, there's no going back, etc., etc. And then basically what happens is he's trying to stop her. Then they start fighting. And then Hulk does the the hand slap that he done from Incredible Hulk. He does that to her, knocks her out. She tries to do it and it doesn't really work. But then she starts doing loads of little ones, like clapping quite a lot, like really fast. And it kind of creates the sonic sound wave. If you remember in Incredible Hulk, General Ross had 2 machines using a kind of sonic sound wave to slow down the Hulk, and she does that to him, and you can tell that he really did not like it. So then they continue fighting, and what happens is the bar that Bruce previously mentions in the episode that him and Tony built during the blip, they both crash into that and break it, and he's like, you gotta fix it now. And then basically it then cuts to another scene of them both fixing the little bar, and then he basically accepts that she's gonna go back to LA, and he's like, if you want to go back, I'm happy for you. And then she breaks the fourth wall again, and she's like, no, he's really not. And he's looking at us and say, what the hell are you doing? Well, yeah, that's number 4, man. And the 5th and final, my most favorite part of the episode, is when she's back in LA, and we're in present time now. So she's back in LA now. She's in court, about to give her closing argument. And basically, this is where Jameela Jamil's character comes into the show. She breaks in the most horrific outfit I've ever seen anyone in. She looks like a cheap worker. And basically, she breaks in, tries to go a bit crazy. And then Jennifer Walters' friend is like, yeah, you got to Hulk out now. Hulk out. And she clearly doesn't want to. But she does. So she hulks out. And then when she hulks out, that Jameela Jamil's character is like, who the hell are you? And then basically, She-Hulk just, knocks her the hell out, and then throws some bench on top of her, and she's down for the count. And then basically that's literally the end of the episode. And basically what she does then is her friend puts her work shoes down for her, and then she turns back into Jennifer Walters, tries to fix herself up, puts her shoes back on, and is about to continue with her closing argument. And then they break, and then the show just fades into the credits with a song from Eve. I don't know if you remember, who's that girl? La 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 la. That's literally the song they use in the credits, and it's the end of the episode. It's not a real long episode. From what I've seen, these episodes for She-Hulk are not going to be overly long, which I kind of enjoy. If a show is not going to be action-packed, I don't really see the point in having it really long, because like my most favorite lawyer show probably Ally McBeal, and Ally McBeal's episodes weren't that long. So I think it's a good run time for each episode. I think if they made it any longer, it would feel like it was dragging and it wouldn't be a great show. But yeah, man, that's basically everything from this episode. That's the 5 best moments I think there are in this episode. There are other moments, some honorable mentions. There are moments that I didn't like, especially, the meditation moment. I think you all know exactly what I'm talking about. I wasn't a great fan of that. And it's not because I'm a guy. I know lots of women who didn't like that part of the episode either. So yeah, but yeah, that was my 5 favorite moments. I also judged the whole show on the first episode. I think it's all right. It wasn't great, wasn't terrible, but it was all right. But anyway, I hope to see you guys next week for episode 2, where I'll be sharing my 5 best moments from that episode. And as usual, if you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe and comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.